शांति। पंढरीनाथ महाराज की जय। श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। जय भुवनेश्वरी जय भुवनेश्वरी। जय जय मूकाम्बा। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। जय भुवनेश्वरी जय जय मूकाम्बा। माता माता जय जगन्माता। माता माता जय जगन्माता। जय परमेश्वरी जय परमेश्वरी। जय विश्वमाता। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। जय भुवनेश्वरी जय जय मूकाम्बा। शक्ति शक्ति जय शिव शक्ति। शक्ति शक्ति जय शिव शक्ति। जय कामेश्वरी जय कामेश्वरी। जय महाशक्ति। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। जय भुवनेश्वरी जय जय मूकाम्बा। देवी देवी जय महादेवी। देवी देवी जय महादेवी। जय चामुंडेश्वरी जय चामुंडेश्वरी। जय गौरी देवी। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा। जय भुवनेश्वरी जय जय मूकाम्बा। जय भुवनेश्वरी जय जय मूकाम्बा। जय जगदम्बा। जय जय मूकाम्बा। जय जगदम्बा। जय जय मूकाम्बा। बोल अम्बा भवानी माता की जय। We are preempting Navratri. We're celebrating it early because Navratri starts on the 6th, okay, and goes through what? The 15th. So 9 days plus 1. 9 days or 9 nights, I really should say. Navaratri. Nava means 9. Ratri means night. So 9 nights festival, all dedicated only to the universal cosmic energy known as Shakti. Okay, so this whole 9 nights is celebrated all around the world. Actually, at this point, started in India. There are Navratri. There are 4 of them, technically speaking, during the year. Did you know that? We only know the main one.
Yeah.
That's celebrated like in a few days. But there are 4 of them. This one is known as, that's coming up on the 6th, is known as Sharada Navratri. Okay, there are 4 of them. This is the main one. Okay, so this is the holiest 9 nights, and then the 10th day of Shakti. Okay, Shakti comes in. I'm not going to give a very long discourse on anything because that can be done from the previous Navratri program that we did in 2020. Okay, when I say we, Amma was sitting right next to me on this side, Radha was on this side, and Krishna was filming us at that time. So the philosophy and all that, I'll try to keep it short. Today, I want to give you an opportunity for all of us really to go through this bhajan that we just did, and then talk about Saraswati, and then sing one of my father's bhajans on Gayatri. Gayatri and Saraswati are equivalent. And then do a quick shloka to Mahalakshmi, and then do a bhajan on Durga. Okay, talk about Durga for a short time, then do that bhajan. And then after that, I have a fairly long looking, it's really not that long, 27 verse prayer from Devi Mahatmya that you may have already heard of. It's basically Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Shabdita and all that. We will do that twice each. And the idea here is, if you start, if you want to practice this, start on the 6th, okay, evening, at night, whenever your night is, wherever you are in the world. Start it that night and go through this whole video if you need to, and go through the lyrics that's in the description so that you can sing the entire thing. You know, I'll try to keep it to a 1-hour program. Sing all of the mantras, all the bhajans for all 9 nights and the 10th day. Okay? That's called Vijayadashmi. So if you do that, I think you will see benefits, but let me know, okay, in the comments after the fact, down below in the video if you want to, okay? But the idea here is, let me give you material to practice in practical terms rather than only theoretical knowledge entering your head, or philosophy, or any kind of description related things. So I won't talk for too much, other than to say I still need to set some context, right? Before I get into what Navaratri is, I'm going to read my father's description from this book. It's called Cosmic Shakti Kundalini. This is already up on Amazon. And this actually has not just the philosophy, but actually how to do many things, including from Tantra, and it goes into specific mantras on mantra healing, etc., which I'm not going to go through today, because the idea is not to pursue healing and other things, but I want to give you some context. So right from the beginning here, right, I think it's good to try to reread and try to understand what he's saying about what is this Shakti, right, or universal cosmic energy that we are celebrating and praying to for the 9 nights. Okay, so here it is. There's a prayer in the front. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to read the description instead. God, or Brahman, is pure consciousness. We've talked about this before, right? That is nameless and formless. So it's this abstract, pure consciousness that Brahman is, right? The Divine Mother is also pure consciousness, but as power, that is Shakti or energy, right? And is the primal cause. Remember, this is the primal, I want to underline that. She is the cause, primal cause of the universe in its form, okay? So in other words, pure consciousness, energy, when they meet, creation is created with form and name, okay? So I'll talk about that a little bit more. There are 6 main manifestations of this Divine Mother, okay? 6 of them. We always think of Saraswati, Lakshmi, and Durga, and that's the end of it, right? and various aspects of those things. But here my father very clearly says there are 6 of them. The first one and the original one is called Prakriti. Normally in Indian languages, Prakriti means nature. Okay, but he has explained what it means. So Prakriti is one, Durga is the next, Lakshmi is the next, Saraswati, Gayatri, and Radha. Okay, let's do that again. Prakriti, Durga, Lakshmi, Saraswati. So we normally just pick up Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati for the 9 nights. But it actually includes Prakriti, Gayatri, and Radha. Okay. So as creative power, she is known as Prakriti. The word Prakriti is made up of 2 things, right? Pra, the syllable, and Kriti. So you have pra means origin. Kriti means creation. Therefore, Prakriti means the origin of creation. Okay? It's not just nature in a earthly sense where we look at trees and animals and insects and go, nature. It's not just that. It's the entire creation. Okay? Countless universes and whatnot. Everything that has a name and a form at every level, right? That is known as Prakriti. So she manifests through 3 gunas. That is the 3 qualities of nature, known as Sattva, Raja, and Tama. Right? That is to say, poise, Sattva. Raja is activity. I call it hyperactivity. And Tama is inactivity or stupor or laziness or dull. Right? So the whole world of relativity is a complex mixture of the 3 gunas. These 3 gunas that we just talked about, Sattva, Raja, and Tama. So the body, mind, intellect, and ego. Our body, mind, intellect, and our self-identity, that is ego, are the products of that nature or Prakriti. Okay? Soul is enveloped, as it were, by the 3 gunas. The 3 gunas, born of Prakriti or nature, causes Maya. Okay? Or delusion. It is this Maya that binds the soul. These 3 gunas create in the soul the feelings of ego, attachment, and the sense of possessiveness, and cause the soul to identify itself with these evolutes of nature. So then he goes on to talk about the nature of Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna, and Tamo Guna, which I'm going to skip over because you guys already know a lot about this from our previous discussions, but even well before that, you are very familiar with it. So I'm going to skip those and go to the next. Pure consciousness, that is Brahman, when it comes into contact with its power, that is Prakriti, right? Takes the form of Brahma, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Brahma, possessed by Rajas, creates. Okay? Remember, I'm going to add a couple things to this. Brahma, the creator aspect of God, okay? Brahma's duty is to create, right? With the help of Prakriti. Without Prakriti, there's no creation. So when Brahma creates, his energy, the same Prakriti, becomes Saraswati. Okay? And we pray to Saraswati during these 9 nights. So you can see, I'm going to show you this. You see on the left side, there is Saraswati holding the instrument, Veena, right? On the left side. So that Saraswati is all about creativity, known as Kriya Shakti. Okay? She is more than that, but let's just keep it to this for now. Rajas, creativity. Vishnu preserves the universe, okay, by his Sattva Guna. Okay? So he preserves the universe. Remember, in preservation, there are a lot of problems. And one of the problems, for us anyway, is having abundance. So Vishnu's spouse or Vishnu's energy, which we call it a spouse, but remember, God has no gender, right? It's for our ability to worship and sing mantras and the like, and ability to meditate on something with a name and a form. The Puranas exist and they tell you, right? So Vishnu's spouse or Vishnu's energy is abundance. Okay? Without abundance, he cannot preserve. Okay? So that's Mahalakshmi, Vishnu's spouse. And then finally, Shiva. Shiva brings cosmic dissolution by the by tamas quality, right? So there is your rajas, sattva, and tamas. So Shiva's energy is called Durga. Now, when each of these Shiva and Vishnu particularly have various aspects to them. When Shiva is very poised, quiet, meditative, happy, we call him Shiva, Shankara, Bholanath, and all these other beautiful names. He is happy, okay, and peaceful. He is not in a destructive mood. However, when he takes the other form of Rudra or Nataraja, the cosmic dancer, at least the way it's depicted, he is causing dissolution, he is causing destruction. Okay? Analogously, you have Durga, Bhavani, right? And many other names on this side, Parvati, right? Shankari, etc., which is very calm. But when you go to the destructive side, that same energy is known as Kali or Mahakali, right? And whatnot. There are plenty of other names. I can go through some of that if we have any time. But reading through this now, Durga is the spouse of Lord Shiva. She is Shiva Shakti and whatnot. So I'm not going to go and read this, I don't think, because you already know enough about Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. And I'll give you a brief synopsis about that in a minute. So Gayatri, you already know. Gayatri is the mother of 4 Vedas. She is the mother of all great mantras. She is the wisdom of God and brings illumination to her votaries. She is the origin of all the Shaktis. Okay? So remember, in our Upanishads and whatnot, the word of God or the vibration is called Om, right? Om. That Om contains both Shakti and Purusha, or Prakriti and Purusha. Okay? That's why that Om is equivalent to Gayatri. Gayatri is then, if you unpack it, it becomes the Vedas. So Gayatri, Om are the origins of any and all creation. That's why Gayatri is considered the source of all knowledge. Okay? So I don't know whether we have Gayatri here. Let me show you this Gayatri on the right side. You see on the right side, that's Gayatri, depicted with, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 arms, right? So there you go. And they're all sitting on lotuses of some kind, representing lotus, expanded lotus, okay? They all represent open consciousness, opening our mind. And the open lotus represents open chakras on the one hand and open consciousness. Okay? All right. So a lot of symbolism is here, so I'm not going to get into all that. Then Radha. Radha is the beloved queen of Sri Krishna. She is the bliss aspect known as Hladini Shakti of God and is inseparable from Sri Krishna, who is absolute love. She is worshipped by all the celestials and is eternally present in Goloka. This is misspelled here in this book. No, Goloka Dhama is what it should say, which is the transcendental heaven. When Lord Vishnu incarnated as Sri Krishna, she incarnated as a gopi, right? So anyway, so I'll end it here. You get a little bit of context here. Now, that said, you know Saraswati, I'll remind you, last time I had said this and we haven't talked about since. Saraswati, the words Sara and Swati, right? Sara and Swa is really what we're looking for here. Sara means essence, okay? And as I said before, 1 year ago, Sara comes from the word Sara. Okay. Sara means also essence, okay? And Swa, as you know, means self, okay? So essence of self. So whenever you pray to Saraswati, she is equivalent to Gayatri. That's why whenever you say Saraswati, you are actually praying for knowledge of your own self, or to get to know your own essence. Okay? That's what Saraswati really means. Therefore, she is Gayatri. Okay? All right. So we also pray to that Saraswati. I'm going to show you that again on the left side. Notice that in her lower left, she has four arms. Lower left hand, she is holding. I wish I could zoom in, but I can't from here. She is holding the Vedas. Okay, all four Vedas representing all knowledge can be found there. Okay, she is the source of all knowledge. So that's what that is. And so, in her left other arm, she is playing the instrument known as veena, right? And in her top right hand, she is holding a japamala. Okay, that is doing japa or mantra, not just praises, but actual mantras that will help you to transcend. So she is doing the japa. Okay. And then finally, the other arm is used to play the other part of the instrument. Now, she is sitting on a white lotus wearing a white sari. That is known as Shweta in Sanskrit. White means Shweta, to represent the purity of knowledge, purity of heart, etc. You get the point. She is also known as Vakdevi. Okay, Vakdevi means somebody who gives you outstanding control over your speech, the words, and how you explain and express things. That's known as Vakdevi. That eloquence is a blessing of Saraswati. All right? So as such, Saraswati, being the energy of Brahma, she is the goddess for creativity, inspiration, and all knowledge. And as you know, she has a lot of different names. So at this point, I wanted to do this, give you a brief synopsis of Saraswati, and then jump right into a bhajan. And that's what we'll do. So if you look in your description, you should have Veda Mata Gayatri bhajan. Veda Mata Gayatri, Veda Mata. Bharata Mata Gayatri, Bharata Mata, Veda Mata Gayatri, Bharata Mata Gayatri. Brahma Shakti, Vishnu Shakti, Brahma Shakti, Shiva Shakti, Gayatri, Shiva Shakti, Gayatri, Anadi Shakti, Apara Shakti, Ananta Shakti, Gayatri, Veda Mata Gayatri, Bharata Mata Gayatri, Bharata Mata, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Gayatri, Ichha Shakti, Gayatri, Chidghana Shakti, Chinmaya Shakti, He Chit Shakti, Gayatri, He Chit Shakti, Veda Mata Gayatri, Bharata Mata Gayatri. Mantra Shakti, Mahashakti, Mantra Shakti, Vishwa Shakti, Gayatri. Vishwa Shakti, Gayatri. Akhanda Shakti, Adbhuta Shakti, Akhanda Shakti, Adbhuta Shakti, Akshaya Shakti, Gayatri. Vedamata Gayatri, Vedamata Bharata Mata Gayatri. Shri Rama Shakti, Shri Krishna Shakti, Sita Radha Gayatri. Trimurti Shakti, Trinetra Shakti, Triloka Shakti, Gayatri. Vedamata Gayatri. Bharata Mata Gayatri. Pavana Shakti, Pavitra Shakti, Pavana Shakti, Panduranga Shakti, Gayatri. Paranjoti Haridas Keshavanute, Paranjoti Haridas Keshavanute, Paranjoti Hari. Vishwa Shanti Gayatri, Vishwa Shanti Tri. Vedamata Gayatri, Vedamata Bharata Mata Gayatri. Gayatri, Savitri, Gayatri, Savitri. Bol Gayatri Mata ki, Saraswati Mata ki Jai. Remember that in different parts of India and basically all over the world, there are different traditions that are followed to celebrate these 9 nights plus the 10th day. So in Karnataka, where I come from, they do that, but the big celebration is on the 10th day, known as Dasara, right? That is, 10th day is celebrated for Shakti or God's energy over evil, right? Such as Mahishasura, Chamundeshwari, and so on. So that's what that is. And other parts of India, they have, 1 minute here, they have all 9 nights dedicated only to various parts of Durga, various aspects of Durga, I should say. in different aspects with different colors, with different prasad, with different color saris, and different pujas done to each aspect of um, that Durga. No Saraswati, no Mahalakshmi, only Durga. Okay. So here are the very quickly. It's known as Shaila Putri on day 1, Brahmacharini on day 2, Chandraghanta on day 3, Kushmanda on day 4, then Skandamata in day 5, Katyayani in day 6, Kalaratri or Kalaratri, depending on which part of India you're from, on day 7, Mahagauri on day 8, and ninth day is known as Siddhidatri. So this is all aspects. Again, I'm not going to get too much into all this right now because I don't want to give a big lecture. I'd rather do these bhajans and do the ending mantra so that you can practice it for the 9 nights if you can. Okay, so that is the idea here. So let me talk very quickly about. So enough said about Saraswati, I hope, right? Okay. So if you want creativity, if you want eloquence, okay, sharp intelligence, and you want the highest knowledge, then Saraswati Gayatri is who you try to meditate upon, pray to. Okay. All right. So now let's get down to Mahalakshmi. Normally, what I forgot to mention is normally how I like to celebrate it is the same way that my father taught me. That is, the first 3 days is Saraswati, second 3 days are dedicated to Lakshmi, and the third 3 days are for Durga and her various aspects, and then the finale or the 10th day is for all 3 aspects. A lot of people won't agree with me on that one, but that's okay because it's celebrated in different ways, right? So again, if you go, before I do Mahalakshmi, I don't have a bhajan for her here. I will just do a mantra, but let me talk about Mahalakshmi for 1 second, okay? So I have notes here. I don't want to forget telling you all about this. I mentioned this in our previous last year's thing, but it's good to be reminded, okay? As you know, even in our ashram in India, outside of Bangalore, called Vishwashanti Ashram, there is, in the center, there is the Vittala statue, 36-foot Vittala. Surrounding that on 4 sides, on this side, there are 4 Lakshmis, and on this other side, in a circle, not semicircle, but in an arc. Okay, Vittala in the center, and in an arc, there are 4 temples for each of the 8, right? For 8 aspects of Lakshmi, 4 are here, 4 are on this side. And there are pujas being conducted daily for each of those Lakshmis. So those are 8 aspects of Lakshmi. But before I go there, Lakshmi simply means abundance, okay? It refers to abundance. I don't want to say that it's abundance in its definition, okay? Lakshmi has a different definition. That definition comes from the root word of laksha. Laksha doesn't mean 100,000. It's lakshya with a Y. Lakshya. Lakshya means to focus. Yeah. Okay? Or to be alert and concentrated. So Lakshmi comes from that. Okay? So that means Lakshmi is to focus. Okay? Focus on what? Focus on abundance. Right? We are here. We have a body. We have everything that God has given us. There's nothing wrong with focusing on having enough of everything, abundance. You can help other people, obviously, right? You can help people who are less fortunate than you. Due to the grace of Mahalakshmi, let her provide abundance to everybody so that there is no lack. So what is this kind of abundance? Basically, it is defined in the 8 aspects of Lakshmi known as Ashta Lakshmi, okay? So the original one is called Adi Lakshmi or Mahalakshmi, okay? The original Lakshmi aspect is known as Adi Lakshmi or Mahalakshmi, okay? She is the Prakriti or energy of God. Without her, nothing moves. So just like that, we have Mahasaraswati, Mahalakshmi, and Mahadurga, right? Whenever you have Maha or Adi, that is the original energy, okay? Doesn't have to be manifested, right? It is before that, it is pure consciousness at that point and pure energy. So that's what this is talking about. So Adi Lakshmi is the original form, or Mahalakshmi, right? The second is known as Dhana. Dhana is wealth or prosperity. I'm going to go through this quickly. Dhanya means food or agricultural things so that we can feed ourselves, animals can feed themselves, and whatnot. Okay? Then Gaja Lakshmi. Gaja means elephant technically, but it includes all animals. Animal is also considered as part of the gift of Lakshmi. Okay? I'm not talking about eating animals here, just so that when people are thinking, oh, is Shyam supporting, eating animals? I'm not. I'm not a supporter of that at all. Sorry about that. Whoever is eating animals, I don't support it. But we have to live on something, so we can eat vegetables, grains, whatever, right? And manage it that way. So Gaja means animals. So animals being around us means better food, better agriculture that they produce, right? We know that without bees, there are no plants. At least there are no plants that are sustainable for all of us. So you get the point. Santana means progeny or children, okay? That's a form of Lakshmi, because remember, we're talking about abundance. When we talk about abundance, things should not be lacking. When you're lacking children, that is called, that's a problem. It's not abundance. So then Santana means progeny and children. Veera or Dhairya Lakshmi is called, it's called Veera or Dhairya Lakshmi. Veera Lakshmi or Dhairya Lakshmi stands for valor or fearlessness, okay? Last time I talked about this. Many of us have a tendency and propensity to be risk averse. We are constantly, trying to build walls and we call it risk management in management terms. But risk management is, if you really think deeply, we are trying to avoid bad things. If you think deeply on that, it means that we are afraid, right? We are worried, we are afraid, we are anxious. Call it whatever you want. They have fancy terms, calling it risk management and doing all these things. But ultimately, it just comes down to fear. So, to be fearless and to have courage and have valor, we have Dhairya Lakshmi or Veera Lakshmi. Because one of the things that my father used to say is, do not be afraid, okay? It's okay to manage risks. It's okay to be afraid of certain things. But we cannot be so afraid that we build so many walls around us that we cannot really do much. Okay? You see that the older you get, the more afraid you are. The walls and everything start to shrink around you. So we are hoping that with prayers to Mahalakshmi, that we will have dhairya. Dhairya means courage, right? And valor to face the difficulties of life without constantly being afraid. That's what this means. And then Vijaya Lakshmi is the number 7. Vijaya Lakshmi or Jaya Lakshmi simply means success or victory, right? So that's also a form of abundance and Mahalakshmi, right? And then finally, Vidya Lakshmi. Vidya means education or knowledge. So I'll leave it at that. There are other few ones called Aishwarya Lakshmi, Saubhagya Lakshmi, Vara Lakshmi, and Raja Lakshmi. It's not necessary. Again, go back to the old last year's Navratri live stream. You can get all this information in a little bit more detail. Today I'm trying to, again, not lecture too much and get right into the mantras and bhajans. Myself. Om Hiranyavarnam Harinim Swarnarajtasrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jata Vedo Maavaha. And then it goes on. This is part of something called Shri Suktam. It has a whole list, which means that it can be used in Lakshmi Puja. Hopefully we'll do Lakshmi Puja on a live stream soon. But this is a prayer that you can practice for your Navratri, 9 nights starting on the 6th. Okay? But there are 9 types of Durgas known as Navadurgas, which I already read off to you, I think, right? These names. I just did, right, Radha? Shailaputri, Brahmacharini, right? So these are all there, 9 types of Durga. but that's not as important as to say that we should think of, whenever we think of Durga, we should think of really Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, and Ichha Shakti, right? Those are the three things that my father always used to emphasize: Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti. You can in fact see it in Vedamata Gayatri, this bhajan we just sang. It says here in the second verse, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Gayatri. Right? So he used to emphasize that a lot. Why? Because Jnana Shakti is the energy or the aspect of mother that gives you the understanding of reality. That is Jnana. To know what's permanent, what's impermanent, what's reality, what isn't. That is Jnana, right? What to attach yourself to, if any, and what to detach yourself from, if any. All that is Jnana, right? So that we are not tossed around like crazy, being here in this life, in this body, for every little thing that comes around. The Jnana Shakti. Kriya Shakti is the creative wisdom that I talked about before, or creative energy from Saraswati, right? And then Ichha Shakti. Ichha Shakti means formidable willpower. Okay? So you cannot do meditation or yoga of any kind or be on track on any kind of spiritual path unless you have willpower and the discipline to say no to a bunch of things and yes to the right things. Okay? That includes having a path of dharma, understanding the purpose of life, understanding what you are pursuing, and that's very important, right? And then having the willpower to do it. Okay? It's kind of like dieting, where you're presented with a lot of delicious food and then you think, I'm done with the delicious food, and then comes the desserts, cake and this and that, and then comes other things, maybe coffee and tea and whatnot, and just goes on and on. So the question is, what does the dieter have to have a discipline on? The dieter should have a discipline of saying no to most of the things, only yes to small amounts of certain things that are acceptable and okay, right? So this willpower, Ichha Shakti, is really at the root, okay? That comes from an understanding of what to say no to and what to say yes to. Okay? Once you understand that and you practice it, Ichha Shakti becomes very formidable and strong. Right? That Shankaracharya calls that Nischala Tattvam. It's related, it's not exactly the same thing. Nischala Tattvam means once you have that formidable understanding and philosophy, you will understand what not to do and what to do, what to focus on and what not to focus on. So Ichha Shakti is absolutely key here. Okay? That energy and discipline is known as Ichha Shakti. From there comes, once you have that formidable, immovable discipline, okay, and you're set on a path and a course, okay, that Durga herself gives you. That Ichha Shakti is energy from Goddess, okay, from Shakti. So once you have that, then Jnana will reveal itself, reality will reveal itself, and you will become immensely creative due to the power of Kundalini. So this Kriya Shakti is also very important, but all that starts from Ichha, right? So Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Ichha Shakti. These are the things we need to think about when we are thinking about Durga, okay, on the last 3 days. All right, so let's sing this song, Jai Durga. Again, go to your lyrics section of the description. It's the last bhajan there. So I hope it's okay. I mean, I'll do this, and if there are any questions or comments you want me to talk about or whatever, we can do that after we get through the program. जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता जय माता जय माता काली। जय शक्ति जय शक्ति जय शक्ति काली। जय लक्ष्मी जय गौरी जय वाणी काली। जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता जय माता जय माता काली। जय मंत्रमयी जय देवी काली। जय तंत्रमयी जय गौरी काली। जय शांता दुर्गा जय अम्बा काली। जय दान शक्ति जगदम्बा काली। जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता जय माता जय माता काली। जय विशालाक्षी रुक्मिणी काली। जय कामाक्षी मीनाक्षी काली। जय मूकाम्बिका सरस्वती काली। जय मूकाम्बिका सरस्वती काली। जय चामुंडेश्वरी ईश्वरी काली। जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता जय माता जय माता काली। जय कात्यायिनी महामाता काली। जय त्रिपुर सुंदरी जगन्माता काली। जय कुंडलिनी मालिनी काली। जय कुंडलिनी मालिनी काली। जय दान क्रिया इच्छा शक्ति काली। इच्छा शक्ति काली। इच्छा शक्ति काली। दान शक्ति काली। क्रिया शक्ति काली क्रिया शक्ति काली। जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता जय माता जय माता काली। जय भासुर शक्ति पर शिवे काली। जय भासुर पर शिवे काली। जय दास केशव सन्नुते काली। जय दास केशव। जय माँ विठ्ठल रखुमा। जय माँ भुवनेश्वरी माँ। जय माँ विठ्ठल रखुमा। जय माँ विठ्ठल रखुमा। जय माँ भुवनेश्वरी माँ। विठ्ठल रखुमा भुवनेश्वरी माँ। माँ जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता जय माता जय माता काली। जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता काली। जय दुर्गे काली। जय माता काली। जगत जननी दुर्गा माता की जय। So there again you see, here again you see in the fourth stanza, fourth verse, which starts with Jai Katyayani. How does that verse end? Jai Jnana Kriya Ichha Shakti Kali. You can see how much he emphasized this point. So this is from Devi Mahatmya chapter 5, okay, and many people know this. Some people know it by heart, but a lot of people do not. But anyway, I'll go through it. This is to Devi in general, but many people apply it to specifically Durga. Okay. Namo Devyai. I'm going to sing these first two ones, three stanzas, three verses by myself, and then I'm going to ask my wife to get on from this one, okay, from Buddhi. Namo Devyai Mahadevyai Shivaye Satatam Namaha. Namo Devyai Mahadevyai Shivaye Satatam Namaha. Prakritye Bhadraye Niyata Pranatasmatam. Next. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnumayeti Shabdita. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnumayeti Shabdita. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetanetya Vidhiyate. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetanetya Vidhiyate. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Now I will say this, she will repeat it, and you can also repeat it if you can try to follow. The words are pretty much the same. The only thing that changes, I will point it out to you, okay? Only one word changes. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhi Rupena Samstita. So the word is Buddhi, okay? Buddhi means intellect. Give me a very sharp intellect, right? Because you are of that form, okay? Buddhi Rupena Samstita. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. I hope you're able to follow. Let me know, okay? Next. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samstita. The word is Nidra. Nidra Rupena Samstita. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu. The word now is Kshuda, starting with a K. Kshuda Rupena Samstita. Kshuda Rupena Samstita. Namastasye 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 Namo Namaha. Next, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Chaya Rupena Samstita. Chaya, it has an emphasis, okay, not Chaya. Cha. Chaya Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu. Now, this is going to sound very much like Krishna. It is not. Not with a K. This is with a T. Trishna Rupena Samstita. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu. Trishna Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu. By the way, Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu means that Devi, that Shakti, who's in all living forms. Okay? Sarvabhuteshu means, Bhuta means all living forms. Okay? So, that Devi who lives in all living forms, okay? Specifically with, this is now just like Shanti, but with a K in front. Kshanti. Kshanti, okay? Kshanti Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Jati Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Lajja Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu. This time it's proper Shanti, not with a K. Normal Shanti as in peace. Shanti Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Shraddha Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Kanti Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Vritti Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Normally, Vritti means all the latent, it involves everything of your mind, thinking, and impressions. All of them are collectively known as Vritti. In other words, all the waves, okay, that are happening on top of the consciousness, okay, that is known as Chitta. On top of that consciousness, all the Vrittis that are happening inside us, all the waves of thinking and intellect and all these activities that cause an impression, that is known as Vritti. Okay? So we're saying you yourself are Vritti, O Devi, right? Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Smriti Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, Namastasye. Namastasye, Namo Namaha. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu. I thought I saw Dayaram joining us. There he is. Okay. Hey, Douglas Briggs, I'm sorry I just jumped right over you, didn't I, earlier? So thank you for joining us. But I thought I saw you there, and you're going to be happy with this. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Daya Rupena Samstita. So Daya means compassion, or compassion. Well, how else to say it? It's not grace, it's compassion and mercy of God. That's what Daya means. Namastasye, namastasye, namastasye namo namaha. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Tushti Rupena Samstita. The word is Tushti. Tushti. Okay, that means happiness. Okay? It means plenty? Then where do you get Santushta from? Okay, maybe she's right. Tushti Rupena, but the word is Tushti, okay? Tushti. Tushti. Namastasye, namastasye. Namastasye namo namaha. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Matra Rupena Samstita. So this matra means mother, right? So in other words, this whatever Devi, Ya Devi, okay, that Devi who is in all living things, who is also in the form of mother. Rupena means that, okay? Samstita, namastasye, namastasye, namastasye namo namaha. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Bhranti Rupena Samstita. The word here is Bhranti. Bhranti means illusion. Okay? Because that's why she's called Maya. Bhranti Rupena Samstita. Namastasye, namastasye, namastasye namo namaha. Two more. Now this one I'll have to do it alone, or you will not be able to follow it probably. Indriyanam adhishtatri. Indriyanam adhishtatri bhutanam cha akhileshu cha. I'm deliberately slowing down so you can follow me when you look at the description later, okay? Indriyanam adhishtatri bhutanam cha akhileshu cha. Bhuteshu satatam tasye vyapti devyai namo namaha. Bhuteshu satatam tasye vyapti devyai namo namaha. Then next, Chitrupena or Chitirupena ya Krishna metat. There's a little bit of a spelling error here. Chitirupena ya Krishna metat vyapya stita jagat. Namastasye, namastasye, namastasye namo namaha. Namastasye, namastasye, namastasye namo namaha. Bolamba Bhavani Mata ki jai. Jagat Janani Durga Mata ki jai. Jagat Janani Mahalakshmi Mata ki jai. Jagat Janani Saraswati Mata ki jai.